Danny's heart raced as he turned the key to his mother's front door. She had left for a week-long retreat, entrusting him with house-sitting duties. Danny wasn't entirely comfortable with the idea, but he couldn't say no to his mom's pleading smile. The first evening passed uneventfully. Danny scrolled through his phone, snacking on chips and keeping the television loud enough to drown out the house's creaks. He avoided the bathroom upstairs, opting for the one downstairs, where the light was brighter and the shadows didn't seem so menacing. It wasn't until the second day, when the downstairs toilet was clogged, that Danny had no choice but to venture into the upstairs bathroom. The air was cooler there, and the faint scent of lavender soap lingered from his mom's routine. As he reached for the light switch, Danny's pulse quickened. The sight stopped him cold. Perched in the corner, above the mirror, was a spider. Not just any spider, a house spider, its long spindly legs stretched out like the fingers of a shadowy hand. Danny froze, his chest tightening. His arachnophobia was no joke. Even the smallest spider sent his mind spiraling into panic. This one, with its bulbous body and unervingly slow movements, was his worst nightmare. For a moment, Danny considered turning around and leaving. But the thought of enduring the entire week without using the bathroom was impossible. He steeled himself, creeping toward the sink with his eyes locked on the creature. "You stay there, and I'll stay here," Danny muttered, his voice shaking. The spider didn't move, but that made it worse. Its stillness was a threat, a reminder that it could lunge at any second. Danny's hands fumbled as he washed them, the soap slipping out of his grip. He dared not look away, his heart pounding so loudly he thought it might echo in the small room. Suddenly, the spider moved. A slow, deliberate shift of one leg. Danny yelped and stumbled back, nearly knocking over the laundry basket. The spider froze again, as if taunting him. "I can't do this," Danny whispered, backing out of the bathroom. He spent the next hour pacing the living room, clutching his phone. He thought about calling his mom but dismissed the idea. She'd only laugh and tell him it was just a spider. He even considered calling a neighbor, but the embarrassment of admitting his fear held him back. As night fell, Danny's anxiety grew. He couldn't sleep, knowing the spider was upstairs, ruling over the bathroom like an eight-legged tyrant. At midnight, he decided he couldn't take it anymore. Armed with a broom, a glass jar, and a piece of cardboard, Danny climbed the stairs. The bathroom door creaked as he pushed it open. The spider was still there, as if it had been waiting for him. Danny's hands trembled as he raised the jar. "Okay, you're going outside," he said, his voice trembling. He inched closer, his breath shallow. Just as he was about to trap the spider, it darted down the wall, moving faster than he thought possible. Danny screamed, dropping the jar and stumbling backward. The spider stopped on the floor, mere inches from his foot. For a moment, they both froze, as if caught in a standoff. Danny's heart felt like it might explode. And then, something shifted in him. He saw the spider for what it was, small, vulnerable, probably more scared of him than he was of it. It wasn't a monster, it was just a creature trying to survive, much like himself. With a shaky breath, Danny knelt down, still clutching the jar. This time, he moved slowly, carefully. The spider didn't run. It stayed still as he placed the jar over it and slid the cardboard underneath. He carried it downstairs, his hands trembling but steady. Outside, under the porch light, he set the spider free. It scuttled into the darkness, disappearing into the grass. Danny stood there for a moment, his fear giving way to a strange sense of accomplishment. He had faced his nightmare and come out on the other side. When his mom returned a week later, she found the house spotless and Danny more confident than she'd ever seen him. He didn't tell her about the spider in the bathroom, but he didn't need to. For the first time, Danny felt like he could handle whatever life, and its many-legged inhabitants, threw his way. Remember to like, subscribe, and share to others, so you don't miss an episode.